Imagine, like, spending 300 straight days on a language app, right? Just clocking hundreds of hours. And then you completely freeze the second someone actually asks for your coffee order.
Oh, yeah, that is incredibly common.
Right. So today's deep dive into the guide Learning and Listening tackles exactly why that happens and, how to actually stop wasting your time.
Because treating learning like this blind, all-you-can-eat buffet just doesn't work.
Exactly. Our mission today is to extract the ultimate strategies to accelerate your progress in English, or frankly, any new skill, by treating it more like a highly targeted neurological workout.
Right, because measuring your effort by just, the sheer number of hours you put in is a huge trap. The guide proves that 1 hour of studying the right way,
The right way, yeah.
exactly, one good hour builds stronger neural pathways than 3 hours of just passive repetition.
Wait, hold on though. If that's true, why does the whole total immersion myth exist? I mean, we constantly hear that you just need an English podcast playing in the background while you do the dishes.
The ambient noise theory.
Right. Don't babies learn just by soaking up ambient noise?
Well, sure, but babies have massive brain plasticity and, importantly, zero native language interfering with that input.
Oh, so our native language is actually blocking it.
Yeah, exactly. As an adult, your brain's audio filtering system is just incredibly efficient. It tunes out background noise that it doesn't immediately understand purely to save energy.
Wow. So passive exposure without like active intervention is just ignored.
Completely ignored by your cognitive network, yes.
So my brain is actively throwing the background podcast straight into the spam folder.
Precisely. To bypass that spam filter, you have to force active learning.
Like what? Pausing the audio.
Pausing it, yes. Physically writing the word down, speaking it out loud.
Ah, I see.
That physical articulation forces your neurons to actually wire together, which turns that raw acoustic noise into a recognizable pattern.
Which really brings up the biggest roadblock the guide talks about, right? The internal translator.
Oh, absolutely. The ultimate bottleneck.
Because if we're forcing our brains to actively process new patterns, stopping to translate every single word back into our native language just completely kills the momentum.
Right. It creates a severe cognitive lag. When you translate in your head, you aren't actually thinking in the new language.
You're just matching words.
Exactly. You're running two operating systems simultaneously. You hear a phrase, route it through your native language database, find the match, and then route the translation back.
Which creates a massive delay. It's like routing your internet connection through 3 different countries just to load a local web page.
That is the exact mechanism at play. And it's also why memorizing those long, isolated vocabulary lists just fails.
Because a standalone word lacks data points.
Yes, exactly. But knowing the full phrase, say, I run every morning, that provides the context, the grammar, and the usage in one single direct package.
So you just bypass the translation lag entirely.
You do. But even when people stop translating and start processing directly, they still tend to freeze up when it's time to actually speak.
Yeah, why is that? If the neural pathways are already there, why the sudden paralysis?
Fear of making errors, mostly. I mean, perfectionism is basically fatal to language learning.
Wow, fatal.
Yeah, because your brain actually requires mistakes to calibrate. When you speak and get it wrong, that feedback loop is the essential data your brain uses to adjust its predictive models.
So waiting until you feel like ready to speak is actually a bad idea.
You are denying your brain the exact data it needs to ever get ready.
That makes sense. The guide notes you really only need to understand 70 to 80% of a text to function anyway. We just need to generate real-time language to feed that loop.
Exactly.
Like the shadowing technique they suggest, right? Mimicking pronunciation out loud immediately after hearing it. Or even just narrating your life to an empty room, like I'm cooking, I'm driving.
Yeah, because it forces immediate output. But notice how uncomfortable that makes people feel.
Oh yeah, highly uncomfortable.
Right, and to avoid that discomfort, learners often default to tool hopping.
Ah, yes. The eternal search for the perfect app to do the work for us.
Which is really just procrastination disguised as productivity.
Right, switching apps constantly just resets your progress.
And it prevents deep cognitive work. The research shows choosing, say, 2 reliable resources and sticking to a focused 30 to 60-minute daily session is much better.
Better than a chaotic 5-hour weekend binge, definitely.
Well, absolutely. It creates far more durable learning. But you also need highly specific goals to guide that session.
So not just, I want to learn English.
Right. More like, I want to understand this specific 5-minute video without subtitles.
It's really about creating an unavoidable environment for your brain to adapt. And tracking that progress, writing down the wins, recording your speech.
That's what sustains you when the initial excitement fades.
Yeah, discipline and genuine interest are your anchors when the friction of learning a new skill gets tough. Plus, you have to use content you genuinely care about, or your brain just clocks out again. This entire breakdown makes me think about that warning against the internal translator.
Mm-hmm.
How filtering new words through our native tongue slows down our ability to truly think and adapt. It leaves you with a much bigger question.
Which is,
What other new experiences or ideas in your life are you secretly translating? Like, where are you forcing fresh, challenging concepts through an old, comfortable lens instead of just experiencing them directly for what they actually are?